Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. For today's workout, it's going to be more of a deliberate pace workout. So slow and control will kind of be the focus for today. We will be doing a few things where we're standing on the reformer and moving a little bit. If that does not work for you, you'll be sitting on the box instead, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. For today, the magic number is going to be 8. A lot of times we go to 10, but because we're doing it a little bit slower, it will be 8. We're going to start with footwork. So I have on my balance body machine 3 heavy red, 1 medium blue springs. You can have the headrest up or down and your foot bar in the up position. The only other equipment we'll need other than the reformer is your box. So go ahead, get set up, and I will meet you on the reformer.
Come to lay on your backs, and you're going to put the toes on the bar, and we'll start in a Pilates V. Heels together, toes apart, toes on the bar. Find your neutral spine. The knees are in line with the shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale, nice deep exhale, and then begin pressing the carriage out and in. When you press the carriage out, the inner thighs will come together, and then when you bring them back in, the knees will be in line with the shoulders. You're pressing out, and then you're counting to about 3 or 5 as you bring the carriage slowly back in, resisting the springs. Control to press out, nice and slow back in. Good work. Feeling some warmth through the legs. Last time pressing all the way out. And that controlled bringing it back in, finding that resistance. Keep the toes on the bar to bring the feet to parallel high heel position, and we'll do the same thing. You're going to press the carriage out here and then count to about 3 to 5 as you slowly bring the carriage on in. Knees stay parallel to one another. Inhale to press the carriage out. Exhale to slowly bring it on in. Keep the heels elevated. Spine stays in neutral. And last one, out and in here. Once the carriage is back in at the stopper, you'll slide the feet up so the heels are on the bar, hip distance apart, feet are flexed towards you. Initiating with the glutes, you're going to press out, and then that 3 to 5 count as you slowly bring the carriage back into the stopper, controlling it against the resistance of the springs. Knees stay parallel to one another. You can inhale out, exhale to help you control it back in. One more to go here, finding that nice deliberate pace. And then when the carriage is back in at the stopper, heels will go wide on the bar, hips externally rotated, knees a little bit wider than your shoulders. And then we have the out and ins here. Inhale to press out, exhale to control the carriage back in. That 3 to 5 count back in. And this will be our last one here with the hips externally rotated. When the carriage is back in, you can keep the heels wide. Just windshield wiper the legs side to side. Get a nice stretch in the low back. If you want, your hands can come to the pegs for a little chest stretch as well. Bringing both knees over to one side, back through center, second side, and back through center. Bring the knees back to center. Heels will go hip distance on the bar. Head rests down for bridges. Knees stay parallel to one another. On your exhale, you'll tuck through the tailbone and begin peeling your back up off the carriage. We'll do a 3 count up. Once you reach your top, you're going to hold it there for about 3 seconds. Take a nice inhale, and then you have a 3 count back down on your exhale. When the hips are back down on the carriage, you'll take a nice inhale to prepare, and then on your exhale, you'll tuck the tailbone as you slowly peel the hips and the low back up off the carriage. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to lower the hips back down, one vertebrae at a time. We'll do a few of these and try to maintain that 3 count. So a 3 count as you bring the hips up, a 3 count at the top with your inhale, and a 3 count to lower the hips back down on your exhale. When the hips are in the up position, you're trying to keep them level to one another, so the glutes and the hamstrings on each leg are very active. This one is our last one here. When the hips are down on the carriage, you'll let the legs drape over the foot bar. And we're going to go into a chest lift. Hands are going to go up towards the ceiling. Palms will come together. And for this chest lift, you're going to raise the head and shoulders up. So you're reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. Hold it there for a 2 to 3 count, and then lower it back down. So really strong in the upper abdominals. We're not coming forward, we're coming up. If you have any tension in the neck, you can put your hands behind your head to give it some support. Two more, taking your time with these, not rushing through them. Really getting a good abdominal contraction, feeling the muscles work. And then you can roll all the way up or turn to your side and sit up. And we're going to go into a spring change. You're going to keep on one medium blue spring and take off all the other springs. Then you're going to come to kneeling on the carriage, feet up against the shoulder blocks, facing the foot bar. Grab both straps, and the arms will go through the short loops. So the short loops are right above the crease of your elbow, so they're on your biceps. Hands will go behind your head. You can sit back on your heels. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to round forward, getting a little bit of spinal flexion. And then on your inhale again, you're going to let the chest lift up towards the ceiling and find a little bit of extension. So exhale into that flexion, that rounded position, and then inhale to open everything up. We'll go through a few rounds here. Very minimal movement, if any, of the carriage, just working through the spine. So think cat-cow, just in this kneeling position. One more time through. Exhale into flexion. Inhale into your extension. Chest is open. And then come back to neutral. And we're going to add on some circles. So round into your flexion. And then you're going to rotate to the right. Come back to an extended position to the left. And then to center. We'll stick in that same direction. Just finding nice circle, getting that lateral movement of the spine, that flexion extension, some side bending, so it should feel really good. We'll do one more time around in this direction. And then when you're forward, we're going to switch. Come to your left first, and then back into that little bit of extended position to the right, and center. We'll do 3 more here. And then come back up. You could rest the hands down. I'm going to tuck the toes underneath me and sit back towards my heels. Hands are going to come in front in a prayer position, and then you're going to just extend the elbows and bring them back in. You're hinged forward slightly. You're just going to extend out and back in, getting again some movement into the arms. Two more. Extending the arms out, bring it back in. Last one. And back in. Good. You're going to kneel up or come into an upright position. Arms will come out to a T. We're going to do little circles about the size of a dessert plate. So going one direction, little circles here. Chest is open, arms at your side. I don't want these too big. Small movement of the carriage. And then we'll reverse direction of your circles. Being mindful of the head position, chin is parallel to the ground. And then you're all set with the circles. Take the arms out of the strap, hang them up. We're going to come off the reformer. You can put on one light yellow spring, take off the medium blue, and we'll put the short box on. So go ahead and get the short box on, and then when it is, you'll be sitting on the box, feet on the headrest, facing the risers. We're going to pick up the left strap. It's going to go across your body. Right arm will go through the short loop right above the elbow for goal post. Arm is out in front, and then you're going to bring it to the side, pause, and then back out in front. You have the elbow in line with the shoulder, and the elbow is at about a 90-degree bend. When you bring the arm out for that pause, think about using the muscles around the shoulder blade and just under the shoulder blades in an effort to keep the shoulder away from the ears. Last one like this, and then we're going to add in a rotation. So on this next one, you're going to open to goalpost, pause, rotate towards the right, come back to center, and then the arm will close. So you'll open, pause, rotate to your right, come back to center, and close. When you rotate, be mindful that you're rotating through the trunk, your hips stay facing forward. Last one. And then once the arm is back in, you can take the arm out of the strap, hang it up, take a quarter turn to your right, pick up the front strap, it'll go in your left hand. For this one, you have the option of staying sitting, or you can come to hover above the carriage. Both arms will shoot overhead as you come to stand, and then come back down to a squat hover. Come up, shoot the arms overhead, and back down to a squat hover. We have 8 of these, only if you feel balanced on the carriage. Otherwise, like I said, you can remain seated on the box. One more like this. Shoot the arms overhead. Come back down to your squat hover. Stay there. Hinge forward. Now shoot both arms over your head so they'll kind of come on a diagonal out and then back in towards your side. On a diagonal out, back to your side. Sitting as deep into the squat as you feel comfortable. Again, you can always sit for this one. Last one. Arms come to your side. Then come to stand for a second just to kind of shake out the legs. Your right arm is going to shoot out over the foot bar. Left arm will come up, have the left elbow out, come to your squat. As you come to stand, you're going to rotate towards that right arm and do a bow and arrow with that left arm across the body. So you're shooting that left arm across the body as you rotate towards the right. Then come back down into your squat. And as you come up, you'll do the rotation. Really focusing on your form, a nice deep squat, slow and controlled as you come up and you rotate. Trying to find that control and muscle burn. This will be our last one here. And then you can sit all the way down on the box, hang up the straps. Carefully step forward off the box. We're going to come into an inner thigh stretch. You're going to have the left leg on the carriage right up against the box. Right foot will be in front of the foot bar, externally rotated at the hip, so the toe is pointed out. Take genie arms. You're going to bend into your right knee as you press the carriage out, and then use the inner thighs to bring the carriage all the way back into the stopper. Try to find that stopper when you come back in. That's that last bit of inner thigh work. So it'll be easy to press out. Watch the control of the carriage. Inner thighs, bring the carriage back in. If this is too challenging, you'll put on a medium blue and maybe take off the yellow. If this is too easy, then you can take off all the springs and go no springs. So those are ways to modify or progress. Last one, controlling it out, inner thighs to bring it back in. And then we're going to add in a rotation. So you're going to press the carriage out just as you did. And then when you bring it back in, you're going to rotate towards the foot bar, still find the stopper, come back to center, and then bring the carriage back out. Bring it in, rotate towards that foot bar, back to center, and bring the carriage back out. So we've got some here. You can do a little pause when the carriage is in at the stopper and you're rotating just to really make sure you're feeling those inner thighs work. One more to go. Bring the carriage out. Now we're going to stay out, hands will go behind your head, and you're going to side bend over to the box, and then back to center. Side bend to the box, and then back up to center, and you're in a nice isometric hold. We'll do about 5 more. And then bring the carriage on in. Good. We're going to come into a plank set. So come onto the carriage, hands will go on the foot bar. 2 options. You can either have the heels up against the box, sitting back, or you can have the toes on the top part of the box and then press out to plank. So pick whichever one you want. And then we're going to bend the knees to bring the carriage in and then press them out. Spine is straight. You're not moving the arms, you're just moving the legs. Knees come in, knees go back out to plank. Nice, controlled. If this is a little bit too light of a spring, you can always put on a medium blue or a heavy red for a bit more abdominal support. Last time out and in here. When the carriage is in at the stopper, you can step forward. We're going to come into push-ups. You're going to put the knees on the front part of the box. press the carriage out a little bit so you're in a plank on knees position. And then here you're going to bend the elbows, chest goes to the foot bar or as close as you can. And then the back of the arms push you back up. We're going for around 8 of these. Spine stays straight. If you feel anything in the low back, just bring the carriage in a little bit and that should help. Last one, stay strong. Press up. Bring the carriage all the way in. And then you're going to come to straddle the box and then come to sit on the box facing the headrest. And we get to repeat that set. So now you'll pick up the right strap. It'll go across your body. The left arm will go through the short loop. Short loop will be right above the biceps. And we've got our goal post. Bring the arm out in front, elbow bent. And then bring the arm out to the side, opening up to a field goal or goal post position. And then back to center. When the arm opens, you're feeling around the shoulder blades work. Hold for a second. And then control it back in. One more to go. Open up, pause, bring the arm back in. And now we'll add in that rotation. So you'll come into your open goalpost position, pause, rotate to the left, come back to center, arm comes back forward. And again, remember that we're rotating through the trunk, not the hips. So the hips and the knees are facing forward the entire time. You're engaging around the shoulder blades, making sure the shoulder blades stay down the spine. You're not raising it up to your ears. So I don't want you to feel anything in the upper trap. If you do, just bring the elbow down a little bit more. This will be our last one. Open up, pause, rotate, come back to center, arm closes. You can take the arm out of the strap, hang it up, take a quarter turn to your left, so you're straddling the box, pick up the strap in your right hand, where we have our squatting to standing. Again, you can always choose to sit on the box, elbows bent and by your side. Come to your squat hover. As you come to stand, shoot the arms up towards the ceiling. And then as you bring the arms down, you'll come back to your squat hover. So as you stand, you're shooting the arms up overhead and then back down to your squat hover. Last time, coming up to stand, arms shoot overhead, back to your squat hover, hold it here, hinge forward, arms are going to go out forward and then back in towards your side, out forward, back in towards your side. And we're staying in that squat position. Legs should definitely be working hard here. Staying as deep into your squat as you feel comfortable. One more time out and in with the arms, and then come up to standing. Good work. Left hand will go out long over the foot bar, come to your squat. As you come up to stand, you're going to shoot the right arm across your body towards the left hand as you rotate in that direction. And then come back down to your squat hover, come up and rotate. Try to keep that right elbow lifted as you come back down to your squat hover as well. This will be our last one. And then come back down, and you can sit on the box and hang up that strap. You're going to carefully come off the carriage forward, and we've got the inner thigh stretch. Your right knee and shin will go on the carriage up against the box. Left leg will be in front of the foot bar. Hip is externally rotated on that left side, and you're in genie arms. Bend into that left knee as you press the carriage out. Use the inner thighs to bring the carriage all the way back into the stopper. Nice and controlled out. Inner thighs will bring you back in. And just a reminder, if you put on a medium spring on the other side, you can do that here. If you took off the spring to make it a little bit more challenging, you could do that as well. And then on this one, we're going to add in the rotation. So as you come up, you'll rotate towards the foot bar, back to center, and then the leg will bring the carriage back out. Bring it on in as you rotate towards the foot bar. And you're still trying to get that carriage all the way into the stopper, that last bit of inner thigh work. Next time you press the carriage out will stay out, hands will go behind your head, and we've got our side bending over to the right side. Keeping the carriage pressed out, nice isometric hold with the legs, and just side bending to your right. Last one. And then when you're back to upright, you could bring the carriage back in. We're going to do another plank set. For this one, if you need more assistance, again, you'll put on the medium blue spring. Otherwise, come to stand on the box, hands on the foot bar. Option to have the heels up on the box or the toes on the top part of the box. So whichever one, you're going to press out to plank. Bring the right knee in. And then as you bring the left leg in, you're going to shoot the right leg behind the box. So left toes stay on the box, right leg is off the box. And we're just alternating here, bending one knee in and then the other. So kind of like mountain climbers with the left leg on the box. Almost there. Next time the carriage is pressed out, you'll put both toes on the box or both feet on the box and switch. Bring the left knee in off the box. And then as you bring the carriage in, the left leg will shoot out behind you. So mountain climbers on that second side. Right foot will stay on the box, either the heels on the bottom part of the box or the toes on the top part. Last time. And then you can put the left foot on the carriage, bring the carriage on in, and carefully step on off. We are done with the box. So you can put that away, and then you're going to put on 2 heavy red springs and come to lay down on your back. Heels will go hip distance on the bar, head rests down. We're going to go into our bridging again, but this time with the press out of the carriage. So heels on the bar, hip distance. On your inhale, you're going to prepare, exhale to peel the back up off the carriage, and then begin pressing the carriage out and in. Nice and slow. Take a 2 or 3 count to press the carriage out, and a 2 or 3 count to bring the carriage back in. Still working on that deliberate pace that we've kind of maintained throughout the session. Last time, out and in. Once the carriage is in at the stopper, you can roll the back down onto the carriage. Pick up the straps, and we'll put the feet in the long loops. Once the feet are in, you're going to bend the knees, come into your frog position. Heels together, toes apart, knees a little bit wider than your shoulders. Press the carriage out, inner thighs will come together, and bend the knees back in. So our frog, initiating with the glutes, the back of the legs. We'll do a little cool down with feet and straps, slowing down our heart rates after that plank set. Next time you press the carriage out, stay out, bring the feet to parallel, knees together for knee tucks. Now bend the knees in and press out, keeping the knees together though the entire time, staying zipped up through the inner thighs the entire time. Last time in, and then press the legs out and we'll go into walking. Bend one knee in, the other leg will go up towards the ceiling, and then press back out and switch. So you're just bending one knee in towards the chest, the other leg is going up towards the ceiling and switching here. So it's kind of like you're walking on the ceiling. One more on each side. Bring both legs to overhead and we'll go into our hip circles. Keep the feet together as you lower the legs down through center. Circle them away from each other, around and back up. They meet overhead and then they lower down together. So we'll do a few in this direction. Next time the legs are overhead, we'll reverse. Circle them away from each other, around and down, and then back up through center. Only going as wide into the hip circles as feel comfortable for you. But you should feel a little inner thigh stretch too, which should feel good after the inner thigh work we did. Next time the legs are overhead, we'll pause, open the legs out wide for another inner thigh stretch. If you would like, hands can come to the rope or the tape to help kind of give it a little bit of control. You're only going as deep into the stretch as you feel comfortable. If you want, you can gently rock the hip side to side. Bring the legs back together. You're going to bend the left knee, right leg will stay straight. I'm just fixing my strap so it's more on the top foot part of my foot. Right leg is straight for a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. Pull on the strap so that way you also get a stretch into the calf. And you want the foot flexed towards you. That's why I was adjusting my strap. And switch. Bend the right knee, left foot will be up towards the ceiling. Getting a nice stretch in the back of the left leg. And then you can take your feet out of the straps and you were all done. Thank you for joining me in today's class. If you like the workout, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that, and I'll see you next time.